Outside with Shibe. Goggins, what's up? How's everybody doing? Shibe, you should just come over and crack a couple cold boys with me, man. That's great, Goggins. That's great. Hunting for life. How are you doing? Getting ready for a pig hunt. Whew. That is something that I would love to do, but living in Pennsylvania, we just don't have that opportunity. Shibe, just come on over, man. I'm doing okay. Tonight was Halloween. So, Cannon, how are you doing? Ooh, that sounded expensive. Touched another arrow. Yeah, tonight was Halloween, so I took the night off from hunting. I'm shooting the bow a little bit, as you guys can see. And tomorrow we will get back after it. I just talked to my buddy. He needs a rappel rope and an aider for a climbing stick so he can one stick. So I got to fashion that up for him tonight. And then he'll be going out in the woods with me. So heck yeah, we'll get after it tomorrow. And I think one of us will probably put down some deer. Rez Caliber, how are you doing? Can I do an Irish impression? No, I'm not Irish, dude. Here, let me impersonate an Irish person during the potato famine. I'm sorry, that was uncalled for. Clearly, I woke up today and chose violence. How many lives have I taken? I am at 3 so far this year with the recurve. I should be at 4. I took a high-risk shot on a buck, and it did not pay off in my favor. And it kind of haunts me, but it is what it is. Rez, I'm doing good, dude. I just took a doe on Monday. My confidence is back up a little bit with the recurve. So I'm ready to get into some rut hunting, which I am by no means a good rut hunter. I much prefer finding deer early season and then going in and trying to kill them. So it is what it is. It is what it is. You know, unfortunately, I don't have a buck on my wall for this year, so we're going into the rut. I better become a good rut hunter real quick. Pond people, I appreciate it. Thanks, man. Appreciate all the support. We're a little sloppy tonight. Yeah, the bucks are starting to move. Like every day, I have like 2 trail cameras out right now between Pennsylvania and Maryland. But every day I'm starting to get bucks on them. So that's a good sign normally. Rez, you should just go on your first archery hunt this year. Shibe, that's a lot of cameras, dude. Dallas, welcome back, first off. And second off, I normally, I saddle hunt. So normally I get in a tree and I wait. During late season when there's snow on the ground, I'll do a little still hunting. With the recurve though, like it's tough. It's brutal. Happy Halloween to everybody though. Coconut, that's awesome. Did you secure the 13 point? Or is he still running around somewhere? Coconut, that's awesome, dude. You'll have to send us some pictures, man. I want to see. Congratulations. Well, Rez, hopefully you can work up to it for next season. Because archery hunting is awesome. And that reason right there is exactly why I don't hate on whatever kind of archery equipment people are using, whether it be a crossbow, compound, or traditional archery like recurve or longbow. Because it's just all about getting out in the woods and enjoying this time of year, you know? Alaska, how are you doing, brother? I was on like 2 nights ago. I didn't see you. How many pounds is this recurve? So this is my practice bow, or it's technically my wife's bow. It's a Black Hunter recurve, and this one is 20 pounds. The nice thing about these is you can swap the You can swap the limbs out. All you got to do is take this bolt out right here, and you can up the poundage. And the limbs cost about 40 bucks. So if you're looking to get into it, I would recommend getting a bow that has really low poundage, and then just working your way up, you know. Well, those are touching. I want to split an arrow for you guys on live sometime. Alaska, that's awesome. Xenon, thanks, man. Shane, I'm hunting white-tailed deer with the recurve. And so far, I've been relatively successful. I've taken 3 does this season, and I shot 1 buck. Unfortunately, I was about 2 inches too low, and I hit him in the shoulder. It was like a straight down shot. Pretty much the worst angle you could ask for, and that's what I got, so. There you go, Rez. That's the way, dude. Start out light, just work your way up, you know? All 3 of those touching. What a group, dude. What a group. Nah, I don't keep any chained up here. Bow hunter. I've got the Black Hunter. I also have my hunting bow out here. I can grab that for you. I have my Samick Sage. This is my hunting bow. So, my practice bow, the Black Hunter, is a 20-pound bow, and then this one is it's technically a 35-pound bow, but since I'm drawing 31 inches, it's really 43. Nah, you guys don't get the shed tonight. That's a Tony thing. What is the best compound bow I have? I only have one compound bow. I have an Athens Peak 38. It's an awesome bow. Unfortunately, they got sued and went out of business. So it is what it is. I don't know if I'm going back to the compound though. We'll see. Yeah, Rez, it's probably a really good thing you didn't get a 60-pound bow. Esden, 45-pound diamond. That's awesome, dude. Those are cool bows. I'm pretty sure because they're pretty adjustable. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure the draw weight is extremely adjustable on those. It is a G8. Heck yeah, man. There she sits. A PSE Nighthawk. That's cool. Yeah, that's what I thought, Esden. I thought they were like, the Matthews Mission is like extremely adjustable, and both those bows are in the same kind of category. Alaska. That's why I like my Athens, dude. All you have to do is pull like one little pin out and you stick it in the next slot, and you can adjust the draw length as well as the draw weight. So, do I hunt with bow? Yes, I've taken 3 deer with this bow right here this year. Jaden, how are you doing? Welcome back. I'm pretty sure I've seen you here before. Kenny, yeah, so if you got a problem with that, like, I don't know what to tell you, dude. Esden, I appreciate it, man. We appreciate all of our subscribers. We do the live, so we get to interact with you guys a little bit more. And yeah, that's about that. Canon, the Nocturnals. So they're Nocturnals. They're not Luminox. I have them on here right now. The ones on here are the universal fits. You can see them lit up. There's 2 out of 3 lit up, and that was brand new out of the pack. I would not get the Nocturnal universal fits. If you're gonna get something, get the Nocturnals, but don't get the universal fits. Get the ones that are specific to your arrow diameter. That would be my recommendation. How many doe tags do I get? So I was fortunate enough to get in with a local farmer, and I had red tags for that season. So I took a doe during red tag season. And then they gave me another red tag, and they'll pretty much keep feeding me tags as long as it's in season. So I have 1 tag as of right now for that, and then I have 5 remaining doe tags plus a buck tag, and that is for Pennsylvania. Public bow hunter. So I started out with this bow, which is my Samick Sage. It's a knockoff of the Samick Sage. It's the exact same bow, made in the same factory, just lower price. $80 bow. It's a phenomenal bow. I would highly recommend you start with a 20-pound bow. The limbs, it's too easy to upgrade the limbs for 40 bucks. You don't need a new string. You don't need anything fancy. Start with a super light draw weight. Work on your form, work on your release. Like, I had a really bad habit of plucking the string. Get that stuff corrected first, and then up the weight to something you can hunt with. That'll be my recommendation. Ben, how are you doing, man? Ben, that sounds awesome, dude. How did that go? Vincent, thank you, man. I appreciate it. That is, that'll pay for a beer for me, so I appreciate you, dude. Here. Cheers, brother. So I think the hardest part about traditional archery that nobody talks about, right? Like, is tuning your arrows. It is such a critical piece when you get into this, and people don't act like that is the most critical thing, but I would probably argue that it is. I switched my arrow setup and I went from shooting 12-inch groups to 3-inch groups, like immediately. Convict, what's up? How are you doing? Hello from Argentina. How are you guys doing? But yeah, so Alaska, thank you. We appreciate that. You of all people know how many beers we go through on this channel. So I truly appreciate you, dude. And you are hands down one of our biggest supporters. The only thing I can hope is that we can do a live stream together at some point, because I know you you kind of do your own thing. You're out there killing some moose or meese. And then, yeah, that'd be awesome, dude. Heck yeah, Ben. Alaska's the best. That was way low. Maybe not way low. It's a little low, though. A little low. But yeah, Alaska, if you ever want to do a live stream together, we'd love to have you on. Ben, you're gonna have to let me know, because you go live every now and then, don't you? I love to hop on and chat with you when you're on the live. Say that goes for anybody else in the chat right now too. There we go. That was a little better. Fishing girl, what's up? How are you doing on this fine Halloween night? Look, guys, I even put the jack-o'-lantern out, and it's got a real flame in it. Convict, I'm definitely a nerd, dude. I can tell you that 17% of doe harvests in Pennsylvania are actually button bucks. I'm a nerd at heart. It is what it is. That was a little high. Put arrow on top of arrow. Yeah, I'm trying to stack them, dude. I'm trying. You filled your deer tag. Garrett, that's awesome, dude. Congratulations. You'll have to send us a picture. What in the Jeffrey Dahmer is going on here? I don't know, dude. I have this other arrow, but it's super light. It doesn't have the 250 grain tip in it, but I think I'm just gonna shoot it just to shoot it. Let's just do it. Let's just send it. It was still pretty on. I aimed like super low. Wasn't sure what was gonna happen. You want to move to America? Whew, I can't help you with that. Godspeed, though. What is my hunting arrow? Let me pull them for you. So, I am running the Easton Legacies in a 400 spine, and I have the Zwickey 4-blade, I'm sorry, they're 2-blade with bleeders as my broadhead. I was running the VPA 3 blades. After I put an arrow into the shoulder of a buck, I switched to the 2 blades, and I absolutely smoked the doe I shot on Monday. And I didn't have an exit wound, but I had such a great blood trail. I didn't need it. She only went 45 or 50 yards. I knew where she crashed, but it was a phenomenal blood trail, and I think I'm sold on these 2 blades with the bleeders as opposed to the 3 blades. I think the difference in penetration is substantial enough. And if I had been using these when I shot the buck, I think I would have hit long. You know, there's no guarantee in that statement. It is what it is, but heck yeah, that's it is what it is. You know, we do what we want. Everybody has their own method, and this is what's working for me. So It's what I'm using. Happy Halloween, guys. Thank you. This is the buck stash. I don't really like having it, but it is what it is. What brand is your bow? I have two brands of bows. I have my Black Hunter Recurve, which is my practice bow. And then I also have my Samick Sage, which is my hunting bow. I'm gonna put that arrow back in there. But if you ask me about which I prefer, I think I prefer the Black Hunter over the Samick Sage. Do I ever hunt with compound ghosts? Yes, I do. I have my Athens Peak 38. I took 7 deer with it last year, so this year I decided I'm going strictly traditional, and that's where I'm at. So it's been a hell of a journey, dude. Like it teaches you a lot. For anybody who hasn't switched to traditional archery yet, I had no idea what back tension was up until I made this change, and I mean my shots with the compound have gotten significantly better because I've shot with the recurve, and because I've learned how to do it properly. So, I mean, you don't even have to hunt with one, but if you just practice with one and you take what you learn back over to the compound world, you're going to shoot a lot better. Heck yeah, Lee. We get after it on this channel, dude. I've taken 3 deer with the recurve this year. I still need to add. I notched it up because I'm a little petty. I need to add a notch. I could probably do that on the live for you guys. But I took a big mature doe on Monday. It was the first time this year that hunting just went the way I wanted it to. I was sitting on a trail, and a doe came in. She gave me a perfect quartering away shot, and I smoked her. She went 45 or 50 yards, and everything went the way it was supposed to go. So that was pretty cool. Bullseye, I fully support you using a crossbow. I support anybody using a crossbow because they're legal in Pennsylvania at least, and just get out in the woods, you know? That being said, if you wanted to shoot with the recurve, either to hunt deer or just to practice, like, I would highly encourage it because it's one of these sports that you have to go out and you have to practice it every single day to maintain proficiency in it. So that was like one of my big draws to it. The compound I could take out and I could shoot, 40 to 50 yards relatively accurately without touching that bow for 3 months. So TM Trails, congratulations, dude. That's awesome. Fill that freezer, baby. Public Bow Hunter, congratulations to you as well. That's awesome. And also, guys, we love seeing pictures. So if you want to send them to our Facebook page, we love to encourage you guys. We love to see the photos. And yeah, send us your pictures. We don't care if they're bucks. We don't care if they're does. Send them in. We love to see them. Pure Alaska, doing some caribou. My cousin Samuel lives up in Fairbanks, and I want to say it was 3 years ago. He was showing me a video of a caribou he got. He took it with a rifle. They drive around on snowmobiles until they find some, and then they just kind of hop off and start shooting. So it was kind of cool. I get down with that. Ben, like I said earlier, button bucks make up 17% of the doe harvest on the East Coast. So don't feel bad. I took a button buck early this year. I don't feel bad about it. It's meat in my freezer. So, yeah, who cares, dude? That's awesome. And realistically, you are way better off shooting a fawn than you are shooting a mature doe. If you're looking in terms of the reproductive tendencies of a young deer versus a mature doe. So, heck yeah, dude, that's awesome. The public bow hunter, I hope you do. You know, one of my goals is just encourage the use of it, and in the last couple months, I've seen it grow tremendously. I have no less than 5 friends who have gotten into traditional archery just because of me, and it's fantastic. Like, it gives them a reason to go out and shoot every night, and they might not hunt with it. Like, they'll take their crossbows out and they'll hunt with their crossbows, and that's still awesome. You know, I love seeing people get back into traditional archery. I think it's cool. I also think it takes way more skill to hit a target at 30 yards with a trad bow than it does to hit a target 100 yards with a modern compound. Maybe that's just my opinion. I don't know. Instinctive accuracy is a gift. Lee, I don't know if it's a gift, but if you practice enough, you can get there. I don't shoot instinctive, I shoot gap, but that being said, I can shoot instinctive decently. Seahorn, this is a black hunter recurve, and this is a 20-pound bow. This is my practice bow. This is what I like to shoot on the lives. I also have my hunting bow, which is 35 pounds. I draw it to about 43 though. Ben, the minimum for Pennsylvania is 35 pounds. East Side, how are you doing? Public bow hunter. So what I mean is when I draw back, I'm using the tip of the arrow to aim. And I have built my arrows specifically to be tip on at 18 yards. And what that means is at 18 yards, I put the tip right where I want the arrow to impact. So I know that anything close to than 18 yards, I need to aim slightly below. And then anything past 18 yards, I need to aim slightly above. Generally speaking, with a tip on distance, anytime you go past it, the drop in that arrow is significant. So you want your tip on distance to be about the maximum that you want to shoot. I have a 250 grain tip in this arrow. I can show you. This is what they look like. They're pretty substantial. Do I hunt? Yes. I hunt with the recurves. Let me shoot this one instinctually. I'm just gonna... Like for just drawing back and shooting, like I don't think I'm bad. I'm not as accurate. Like I'm not in the 1-inch tape that I have up there, but I'm not bad, you know. I could probably get away with it on a deer. That's in there too. Like I can kind of shoot instinctual, but I don't do it a whole lot. And I prefer gap shooting because I think it's more accurate. Broadhead Outdoors, we're not doing this again, okay? We did this once before, and we're not doing it again. Bryson, how about you mind your own business, dude? I had a long day. I came home, I dealt with trick-or-treaters all night, and I want to rock my OCP shirt. This really isn't OCP, it's an undershirt, first off. And this is what I'm going to do. So mind your own business. Lee, that's awesome if you feel confidently enough to hunt instinctual. That's kind of the goal. If I could get to a point with the split finger, nonetheless, if I get to a point with split finger where I could hunt with it, I'd be all about it. The problem is once I get into the saddle and I get 20 to 30 feet in a tree, stuff changes real quick, and I really like to have the confidence that I have with gap shooting. This arrow is super light, so don't judge me. as I drop it on the floor. Yes, Dan, I actually am. I actually just saw a post. I don't know if you're on the Traditional Archery Society. I just saw a post about him today on there, though. So if you see on there, you'll see me post a lot of questions on there. If you go back like, I don't know, a year to 8 months, you'll see me post a lot of questions on there because I didn't know a lot about trad bows and about arrow setups and all that stuff. So it's crazy like how fast you can learn the sport as long as you're committed to it. That's awesome. Yeah, he's definitely one of the big names in the industry. For sure. How do you tune your arrows? That is a fantastic question. And I might not be the person to answer that question. So what I can tell you is there are guides out there for about what spine arrow you should be shooting for whatever poundage your bow is. And that's going to change depending on what your draw length is, because trad bows are measured at 28 inches generally. So if you're not drawing 28 inches, or if you're overdrawing, like that's going to change the actual poundage. Put one through the Pontiac. Yeah, I don't know about that, Jersey. But generally speaking, when you're looking at tuning your arrows for the trad bow, like look at a guide, right? And that'll put you right in the right vicinity within, I would say, 200 spine, right? Like, so you probably have to order a couple arrows to play with, bare shaft tune your arrows, and you have to add the weight up front, your FOC, like you got to add that while you're bare shaft tuning, right? And the whole point being, like, if I go out into the woods and I'm hunting and it's raining and the fletchings get wet and now they're all pressed down, I can still confidently pick up an arrow and launch it at an animal, and it's gonna fly straight, you know? So get a couple different spines of whatever arrow you would like. Three Rivers Archery sells kits for tuning your arrows. Start with getting your arrow to fly straight. If you're shooting at like 10 yards and your arrow is sticking in and it's to the left, that's a really bad illustration. The left for you guys kind of looks like that. But if your fletchings are sticking in to the left of where your arrow is impacting, that means your spine is a little too weak. If your arrows are sticking in to the right of where it's impacting, that means your spine is a little too stiff. As far as the up and down goes, you're gonna have to change your knock point until you're there. Your knock point for traditional archery bows, I want to say you want to be like 1/8 of an inch high or a 1/16 of an inch high, as opposed to a compound where you want to be perfectly level. So there's a lot that goes into it. If you can find somebody to teach it to you, it's going to be a little easier. And I want to put out a video on it because this is something that I really struggled with, and I know it's going to help other people. But so like let's just assume, like, get your knock height right first, right? Like, and that's relatively simple. If you're shooting if you're shooting and the feathers are sticking up, it means you're probably knock low because it's bouncing off the riser and going up. If they're down, you might be a little knock high. Knock high is not normally an issue with traditional archery. You'd have to be really knock high to have an issue with it. Ben, are compounds easier to pull back, or I'm guessing you meant recurves? I mean, pulling them back is not really relevant. A 70-pound recurve is going to pull back to the same poundage that a 70-pound compound is. The difference is all of the modern compounds have let off. My 70-pound compound has 90% let off on it. So it's a little easier to hold back once you get there. Lee, absolutely. And that was one of the things that I really, really struggled with. And this is one of the reasons I would encourage people to go super light as opposed to going with a heavier setup to begin with. No, I don't have a cleft palate. It's just a mustache. It gets wonky sometimes. So the other thing you're going to have to learn once you get into traditional archery is like really the back tension. And I think modern compounds compensate a lot. Obviously, you have your peep sight, you have a level on it, you have sights to aim with, right? So it compensates a lot, so you really don't have to use the back tension. And when you get into traditional archery, you have to learn that. You have to learn to not pluck the string when you release. Don't hit the car. Don't tell me what to do. I'll hit the car. So that's like definitely a new thing. Like I said, like I hunted 2 years without knowing what back tension was, just because modern compounds are so forgiving. There's a lot to learn. Start light. Start with the right arrows. If you start super light, like these are, like pull these up. These are great arrows to start with. These are the Link Boy arrows. Where's the name at? They have them on here. There we go. Literally Link Boy. They're $45 or $50 for 12 of them, and they shoot really well. So, but if you start lighter, you're going to have to kind of build an arrow for your lighter setup and then kind of work into a hunting setup. Like you're just going to have different setups. It's not necessarily going to be cheap. Yeah, Lee, absolutely. So a lot of people use the wood arrows because they add a lot of weight. Wood or aluminum, they add a lot of weight as opposed to the carbon fiber. Yes, it is a V8 G8. Holden Commodore. And that's a brand new nocturnal that's not lighting up. I've never had an issue with them, but these universal fits have been giving me a ton of problems. So just so everybody's tracking that. Jesus, that wasn't a miss. Don't be silly. And those arrows were touching, so heck yeah. I mean, I'm at 13 yards. It's not super far, but as far as hunting scenarios go, I won't shoot past 20. So, you know, the traditional archery experience is really about doing it within 20 yards, in my opinion. And I know people who will shoot out to 35 yards with them, but that's not... It's not a shot I would take. You have an arrow that's moving at 160 feet per second. It takes a while for that thing to get out to 35 yards, even if I can do it accurately. Man, what is it with you guys in the car tire tonight? It is begging to die, but we're gonna have to get some tips before I do that. Silliness. Seth, what are you up to, man? How are you doing? Man, if I could Robin Hood an arrow for you guys, I absolutely would. And I've been trying for a while. I just can't do it. Like, these arrows were touching, but I didn't split any arrows. It is what it is. You hit a target at 100 yards? I'm going to have to see the video, Catfish. Can an arrow go through the windshield? We're not going to find out. Upstart, that's cool, dude. If you don't want to sub, you don't have to sub. It is what it is, dude. But I appreciate the comment. Keep feeding the algorithm for me. Yeah, Ben, we've broken a couple knocks on lives. And by a couple, I mean like 6 or 7. We've broken a good number of them. But I haven't really gotten a true Robin Hood where I've split the arrow completely. Lance, I'm doing all right. How are you doing? Yeah, Lee, it's you know, I've spent quite a bit of money doing these lives. We've broken a lot of knocks, and like these lighted knocks, you know, they're not cheap. We go through a lot of lighted knocks. And then just targets in general, when we're shooting anywhere from 200 to 300 shots a night, like we go through targets pretty quick. So it gets expensive quick. Parker, I do hunt. We hunt a lot of white-tailed deer on this channel. We hunt a lot of white-tailed deer. Tony actually just shot one last night. He shot a doe last night. Not with the recurve, but nobody's perfect, you know? Yeah, Lee, I don't know if I'd call it luck, but like you have to be so precise. I mean, you literally have to do everything the same. You know, you're talking thousandths of an inch the same. Patrick, how are you doing, man? That was bad. You know, I say that was bad, but like the reality is we're not perfect, and I can have a 4-inch deviation when I'm hunting and still harvest an animal. So it is what it is. I'm okay with it. I've also shot a lot tonight and had a little bit to drink, so it's okay. Where are the garden tools at? Ho! Patrick, glad to hear it, dude. Thanks for hopping back on. Those are touching. Not in the center, but at least I'm consistent. The 6.5 Creedmoor, I'm guessing. That one was actually in the center. Yeah, outdoor clips. I've definitely never seen a deer, dude. You definitely won't find any videos on the channel of me smoking some deer either. Definitely not. You guys are silly. Brazy B. Yeah, these arrows are a little light. So these are 1,000 spine arrows. And even with this bow, I'm overdrawing. I'm drawing about 31 inches because that's what length these arrows are. So 20-pound bow plus 8 inches, I'm about 28 pounds. Like 1,000 spine is still kind of light. I probably need about 800 or 700 spine arrows for this. SoCal, that's awesome, dude. Hopefully they weren't super expensive arrows. .338 Lapua. Aluminum or fiberglass? I mean, better's a matter of opinion. I don't know if do they even make fiberglass arrows? These are carbon fiber. Carbon fiber is the most resilient arrow you could get. You know, wooden arrows have a tendency to break, and then aluminum arrows have a tendency to bend. The carbon arrows, they're just better, you know. It's really hard to beat them. And you can get them in a really thin diameter too. Like I know people running the 5mm, which is, it's cool. I was looking at them, but they're like, I think the 5mm ones that Easton makes are like $200 or something for a dozen, as opposed to 120 for the Easton Legacies. We're just a tad high there. We're touching the tape though. We're not bad. Yeah, Ben, carbon fiber is my go-to. I haven't really messed with the cedar arrows at all. It's just carbon fiber is kind of the standard nowadays. So, yes, it is a Commodore Holden in the background. Lee, I don't really get either. As long as you keep your wrist downward, and I can show you what I mean. So, stay like that, right? So like if you're just kind of grabbing the bow and you're grabbing it tight, like your wrist is gonna have a tendency to rotate to the left if you're a right-handed shooter. You wanna rotate it down, and that keeps your string away from your arm. SoCal, you need to tune your arrows, dude. The diameter of the arrows probably doesn't have a lot to do with it. It has a lot more to do with the spine. What pound of bow are you shooting? How much weight do you have up front? Have you tried bare shaft tuning them? You know, there's a lot that goes into this. IFV, how are you doing, brother? Ben, when you're not slapping your forearm anymore, dude. I used to wear it all the time, and I still keep it in my hunting pack, but it's mostly in case I'm wearing some like heavier clothing, like a heavier jacket or something. It keeps the jacket out of the way of the string. So, Sheldon, how are you doing? Next green arrows. These are the Link Boy arrows. They're about $45 for a dozen or $50 for a dozen. They're super cheap, but they work pretty well. I'm pretty impressed with them. Yeah, for bulky clothing, that's when I wear my wrist guard. There we go. That's in there. Shots fired. How are you doing? Everybody enjoying their Halloween? SoCal, if they're not flying well out of a compound, you probably don't need to refletch, right? You should be able to bare shaft tune arrows, whether it's out of a compound or a recurve. and they should be shooting straight. So if they're not shooting well, you probably need to adjust something. I'm not great with compounds, but you probably need to adjust your knock height, or you need to adjust your sight so that way it's more lined up to the arrow. Catfish, that's cool. Me and your grandpa would probably hit it off, dude. Let's shoot the can. The other night I went 3 for 3, so to be fair, at 13 yards, I should be able to hit that can every time, especially if I'm going to take that shot on an animal. Although, I don't go hunting when I'm this intoxicated, so it's okay. All right, now that all my arrows are on the floor, let's do it. There we go. Smashed it. Who was that? Outdoor for sure. Timmy, what's up, baby? How are you doing? Yeah, what Lee said. They make a couple different stuff like solutions and stuff that you can put on the feathers of your arrows. But that being said, if you well, Tim, you know where to grab a drink, buddy. Come on over. I didn't think I was going to do this tonight, but here I am. So, so if you bare shaft tune your arrows, dipping the feathers in any sort of solution to waterproof them is relatively unnecessary. So that would be my advice to everybody. It's the advice I've gotten from several people that I know and trust who have been in the traditional archery game for a long time. So you ever shoot trad veins? I don't know what you mean by that. These are feathers on here. Hit the tire. What is it with people and talking about hitting the tire tonight? Catfish, you live in West Virginia. I think I will be hunting West Virginia next year. I live in Pennsylvania. Ben, congrats, brother. That's awesome. Hopefully you break 3,000 sometime soon. That's an awesome accomplishment. And fun fact, I just looked up yesterday that only 0.25% of YouTube channels ever monetize. So for anybody who hits that, like you are the top 0.25%. So congratulations on that. Lee, if you send I'm by no means asking for money. If you send a $10 donation to pay for my arrow, then yeah, I'll shoot the cinder block for you. We can see what happens. Catfish, if we're not subbed to you already, I'll make sure after the live stream we sub to you. Same with you, Alaska. Like we're here to support everybody. This is 13 yards, Angie. 13 yards. About, oh God, 36 feet. That's how you math. There we go. Those are touching. That was good. I feel like I'm really getting into my groove right now. Yeah, Jay, it's not hard to spend that much on a bow nowadays. I can tell you, like, if you're looking for a mainstream Matthews bow, you're probably spending upwards of $2 grand. So, catfish, I would highly recommend you don't get a GoPro. I despise, like, and I've filmed a lot of content. I despise the GoPro. Um, it's a very it's a very useful tool for certain scenarios, like if I'm trying to get an underwater shot of fish, or if I'm trying to get a really wide angle shot. That's about all they're good for, though. So if you're looking to strap something on to like your head or whatever the case is for a hunting scenario, I would highly recommend you just use your phone and get a camera arm. E-Rock. No, I don't own a white van. This is one of my cars right here. I have 4 vehicles. I have that. I've got a Subaru Outback. I've got a truck, and I've got a what else do I have? I have a Toyota Corolla. I've got a couple vehicles. Bear legit. That's awesome, dude. Congratulations. Hopefully you slay a deer with it. Yeah, that car is low tire because we've shot it with an arrow, dude. And if you haven't seen the video is out there. You can check that out. Alaska, I've been looking at the DJIs. So I actually have a drone from DJI. I absolutely love the thing. The camera on it is phenomenal. It's a 4K camera. And I've been looking at the little cameras that they sell. My wife's cousins up in Canada have one, and I thought it was phenomenal. The only thing I don't like is the battery life on it isn't really much better than the GoPro. So, speak Russian. I don't speak Russian, dude. Yeah, Ben, 2K is like kind of the average for your flagship bows nowadays. It just is what it is. Heck yeah. Everybody go out. We got Bullseye Ben in the chat. He's got a pretty cool YouTube channel. We've got Pure Alaska in the chat. He's got a pretty cool YouTube channel. Go out and give them a sub too. We're all about lifting other people up on this channel or supporting other people as much as we can too. We're trying to form a hunting community. So go out and just give them a sub. It costs nothing, and you're going to see some good content. So check it out. Ooh, Canic over the Glock. You're asking the hard questions now, buddy. The Canic is a sweet handgun for what it is. I have no qualms with either one of them. Personally, I'm probably picking a Glock 43 though. It's just I don't know. It just fits well in my hand. I like it. It just is what it is. What bow do I hunt with? Oh man. Set up and ready to go. This is my Samick Sage. It is a 35-pound bow. I have a 31-inch draw with these arrows. So I'm drawing about 43 pounds with it. I'm running the Easton Legacy arrows, and I have the Zwickey 2-blade with bleeder broadheads on it. I believe they're the like Zwickey Eskimo broadheads or whatever they call them. SoCal, yeah, the 365 is a sweet gun. That is what my wife carries. I'm more of I have a Hellcat too that I carry. It has a wider grip on it. It just kind of fits my big hands better. So. Last day of Glocktober. I love it. Glocktoberfest. Great outdoors. We don't do any politics on this channel. This is strictly hunting and that's the way it's going to stay. So, do I deer hunt with a rifle? I have not, actually. I have killed 14 or 15 deer in the last 3 years, and all of them have been with the bow. I'm going on my 3rd season right now, and I'm using the trad bow, and I'm not going to say I'm loving it because it's been a really tough season. I should have 10 deer in the freezer right now, and I don't. So personally, it's very hard for me to deal with that, especially when one of them was the biggest buck I've ever shot, and one of the biggest bucks I've ever seen. And I didn't kill it because I'm using the trad bow. I hit about 2 inches forward of where I needed to. Ooh, the warm October days. I'm not a fan. It was 80 degrees today in Pennsylvania for the last day of October. That's like unheard of, but it is what it is. Ben, everybody hates on the high points, dude, but who cares? Like, I'll tell you what, as far as like AR-15s go, I have several Bear Creek and PSA AR-15s. I've never had an issue with either one of them, never. And I've put at least 1,000 rounds through each one of my rifles, probably more than that in several of them. I've never had an issue, so whatever. You know, people hate on stuff because it's cheap, but it can be super effective at times. You know, and speaking of cheap, let's get into this, right? Because people will go out and spend $3,000 on a brand new Matthews Phase 4, whatever they're on. This is an $80 bow, and I've killed 3 deer with it this season. So, you know, I think a lot of times in life it comes down to the person using it, not so much the equipment that's being used. Hail Daniel, that's awesome. Like that's your opinion. It is what it is. I've only ever shot one high point in my life. It was a 9mm handgun, and it didn't malfunction or anything. We put 200 rounds through it at the range that day. I don't have anything bad to say about it because I don't have any negative experiences with it. So whatever. Jed, military. Yeah, I am in the military. My partner, Tony, who does these lives with me, he was in the military. He just retired last year. And then you'll see Shibe and Shore. They hop on here. They're in the chat right now. You'll see them hop on quite a bit, and they're both currently serving in the military as well. So, winter. That is a great point that you bring up. And I think that's one of the barriers to entry that hunting has. The good news is if you call a processor beforehand and you're like, hey, I'm brand new to hunting. I don't have anybody to show me the ropes. Can you guys show me how to gut and skin a deer? They probably will, because it just means more business for them. If you can find somebody else in a hunting group, Facebook is a great tool. You can probably find somebody who's willing to help show you how to do that stuff. It's not difficult. Tony and I have done it on a live stream before. We quartered a deer without gutting it. And that's my preferred method. I don't like gutting deer, mostly because I don't like getting my arms elbow deep in a deer when I'm still 30 minutes away from home, and then I have to drive home with just blood all over my arms. So I don't quarter deer until I get home, or I don't gut deer until I get home. And then when I get home, I just put them on the gambrel, which is actually that little instrument right there, and I quarter them without gutting them. The guts kind of fall down into the rib cage, and it's not an issue. So, do a flip. Okay. No, I'm not doing that. Dude, I'm like 30 years old. I can't do a flip. And I'm fat. Leave me alone. Everybody picking on the fat kid. I can shoot the bow for you, though. Yeah, Ben, I think that's pretty much the standard procedure nowadays. Yeah, Scorch, like everybody, like, dude, everybody hates on the cheap brands just because they're cheap. The reality is, if you needed it for self-defense, if it's going to empty a 13-round magazine into somebody's chest because they're robbing you, it's effective, right? Like, let's be realistic about it, you know? Brand of bow. Okay, this is a Black Hunter recurve. This is my practice recurve, and this thing is 20 pounds. And I like it because it allows me to work on my form. And for anybody who's looking to get into traditional archery, I would highly recommend going super light and not overbowing yourself. It's definitely the best way. Like, so I started out with my other recurve, which is my hunting setup now, and that bow is way too heavy for somebody starting out. And I developed a lot of form issues because of it. So don't overbow yourself. Get a 20-pound bow, and the limbs only cost $40 for this. So you can always upgrade and have a hunting setup without changing the string, without changing anything else. So, what's up, Timmy? That was low. Do you want to shoot, buddy?
Don't matter.
You might as well grab me a beer while you're in the fridge.
Ooh.
Yeah, like Scorch, like I said, like I carry the Hellcat too. I like it. It fits my, like I got big hands. It fits my hands well, and it is what it is, you know. But if somebody didn't have the same amount of money to spend on a carry piece, like if it shoots, it doesn't malfunction. Like who cares, you know? That was a little high. I didn't actually hit that can. I probably could have hit the can. I don't know, Timmy. We've been drinking all night, man. Buck hunter. The arrows keep falling off the rest. So I have that issue with the black hunter recurve. As you can kind of see, the rest is a little rounded. You can probably see it a lot better like that, right? The rest is rounded. So a lot of people don't shoot a recurve perfectly vertically, right? A lot of people shoot with a cant in the recurve. I do shoot vertically for the most part. With this bow, you might see me shoot a little canted just because the arrows are a little underspined for what I need. But that being said, if you just draw back canted and then switch to a vertical position, you'll be all right, dude. SoCal, my issue is I need a holster for everyday carry that really fits well. I don't remember what I have. Is it like Alien Made or I don't remember what holster I have, but that's my qualm with it. Is like I just don't like my holster, so I need to get that. Winter melon. I don't know what to tell you on that. You're probably like way too far. I don't even know how to describe it. Like you're turning way too much. I don't know how you would even strap your chest that much, to be honest. Try putting the bow horizontal. Here, Timmy, I'm gonna shoot an apple off your head horizontally.
If you miss, please make sure.
I could probably shoot it horizontally. I really don't think it matters. I'll try it for you. I don't care.
If you miss, just make sure I don't have to go to work tomorrow.
I'll try, Timmy. No guarantees. I need you at work, dude.
Is this the same thing as yesterday? 2 days ago?
Yeah.
Day ago? Just
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna miss, ain't I?
No. It's the exact same setup you shot a couple days ago. So the best part is once I build a setup and the draw length is about the same, like he can pick this bow up and shoot it. No issues. And he bullseyes it. This is a guy who doesn't shoot not even just traditional archery, but he doesn't even shoot compounds. He hunts with a crossbow. And I'm not hating on that. I'm just simply stating like he can pick this up and just about bullseye it. because my arrows are built around a certain distance. And that absolutely was a bullseye. Why don't you stand to the left just a little bit? Alaska, hit us up via email or on the Facebook. But yeah, we can absolutely do that, dude. I think Tony's going to be around a lot next week, so you might have to do it with him. I'm going to be grinding and trying to get after it, hunting the rut here in Pennsylvania. But yeah, dude, absolutely, we can do a live with you.
I need to shoot a deer so I can do a live. Ooh, that was a good one.
Wintermelon, I don't think you can go wrong with 308. It's pretty much the standard round for NATO. My AR-10 is in 308. It's a relatively cheap ammunition. I don't think you can go wrong with that. As far as harvesting deer or other big game in North America, it's a great round. Everything about it's fantastic. So. All right, Alaska. We'll be looking out for it. You have a good night. And like I said, next week we'll do something together, okay? Tim, you got some arrows for me?
All the arrows you need.
You shoot really well, considering you literally never shoot recurves or just bows in general.
Well, I think I picked that thing up one time during the summertime, and I was terrible, and I said, nope, not my thing.
It wasn't even this bow. It was the other bow.
Was it?
Yeah. Once you get the bow built around the arrows, not that the bow changes, but once you get your arrow set up for a certain distance, it makes it super easy. Uh-oh, Ben. What's wrong with the crossbow? What's my favorite genre of music? Man, I love me some Lil Wayne. But I also like country, and I like rock. I like everything.
I'm eager to see Ben reply.
Ooh, that was way far right. Way far right. Tyler, so index finger above, so you're shooting what we call split finger, right? So you're shooting like that. I use split finger. For the most part, most bows are tillered to shoot split finger, meaning they have an even tiller on both the top and bottom limbs. If a bow is designed specifically for 3 under shooting, the bottom limb is going to be 1/8 of an inch less than the top limb. But most of these like Chinese production bows are going to be tillered perfectly even. So that being said, when you shoot your bow split finger, you're going to notice the bow performs better. It's quieter, the arrows shoot better, everything about it is better. And I like to shoot that way. My problem is, as a gap shooter, the gap is too much. So I shoot 3 under. That way I can point the tip of the arrow where I want it to hit, and that's the way it works. How's it going? We got a couple guests tonight.
I honestly didn't know that was you at first, just because of the mask. I thought you were some younger dude.
Damn. That was a bullseye. The nocturnal failed, but
and like
Ben, I appreciate it, man. Do I shoot instinctive? Jordan, I can shoot instinctive, but normally I gap shoot. So, like here, I'll shoot instinctive for you right now. And I'm 3 inches left of where I really want to be. You know, I don't really practice instinctive. I don't really know if there's a reason to for what I'm trying to do. I'm a first year bow hunter when it comes to traditional archery. I've only been shooting consistently for the last 6 months. So I gap shoot. It is what it is.
so do I.
Colin, I am shooting a 20-pound Samick Sage, and
See you, fellas.
I'll see you, Dan. Thanks for stopping by. and I shoot 1,000 grain Link Boy arrows. It's a super cheap setup. So the bow only cost me about $80, and then the arrows only cost me about $45 for a dozen. So it's super cheap. It's a great way to get into traditional archery. As far as my hunting setup goes, I have a Samick Sage clone, which is, it's about $80. And then I'm running the Easton Legacy arrows with that and 400 spine. This bow I'm drawing to about 43 pounds. So you don't have to spend a lot. I mean, especially in comparison to modern compounds, you can spend a quarter of what you would, get 2 bows with arrow setups and broadheads, and I mean, you're gonna be way better off if you're trying to get into traditional archery. If you're just trying to kill deer, I would highly recommend getting a crossbow or a compound. SoCal. So I haven't noticed a difference in how I shoot from the compound. I'm sorry, how I shoot from the saddle, other than the fact that you get some weird angles. So I built my arrows. My arrows are 31 inches in my hunting setup, when realistically I could draw 32 inches, and I have arrows that are full length 33-inch arrows that I like to shoot. I shoot better with those arrows. But for a hunting setup where I get into really weird scenarios with the saddle, I like the 31 inches because what happens is, and I can show you, now when I draw back here, my broadhead touches the riser, and that's how I know I'm at full draw, no matter what. So,
Hey, do that again while I stand up here. I'm just letting go.
yeah, no problem. And so the reason I switched, I was shooting 33-inch arrows. What's my rank? Wouldn't you like to know, Weather Boy?
I knew you were going to say that.
So I switched because I have the 33-inch arrows. You get into some really weird, awkward angles with the saddle, and shooting 31-inch arrows, which are slightly shorter than what I need, ensures that I hit my draw length every time. It's just one of these checks and balances in my head. So I know draw back, broadhead touches the riser, I'm good. Arrow tip on where I want to hit, and then just, touch my shoulder. So you got to remember these cues. If you're coming from the compound like I did, man, it's another animal. It's just crazy. Like, I never even got nervous with the compound. Maybe my heart rate flutters a little bit, but I never really got nervous. And then picking up the trad bow, like the first time I saw a deer with it, I was like, dun 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 dun. It was crazy. And now I'm back at that point where I don't really get nervous, and I focus on the work that's at hand, or what I need to get done. But yeah, the first time you have a deer come in front of you and you're holding a trad bow, I promise you're gonna feel it. And Tony, who has killed 50 plus deer in the last 10 years, he felt it, So if he feels that way, I know everybody else feels that way. It's just a different animal. If you're feeling a little bored with compounds, I urge you to pick it up, because it's gonna like reinvigorate you into the archery community. Can I explain the rank in question? Yeah, winners. So me and Timmy here are both in the military. And when you get into the military, you have a rank structure. You have enlisted and officer rank structures. Tim and I are both enlisted. I am a sergeant. He is a staff sergeant. And the question at hand is just basically, what rank are we, if that makes sense. Yeah, military rank.
10 more years ago.
Ben, the buck fever is real. I will tell you, when I had that big buck below me that I shot and I didn't make a good shot on, I felt nothing, dude. Like the instincts kicked in, and I was like, all right, let's get to work. And I missed by like 2 inches. Like it just is what it is. Heck yeah, it's the drunk guy again. Cheers, brother. That's what we do on this channel. Well, thank you. We appreciate that. You know, I don't purposely try and bring up the fact that we're in the military, but it seems to come up every live, and I certainly appreciate the support. I know Tim does too. It's not always the easiest life, but it kind of works for us. So, Ben, that's awesome, dude. I always think it's funny, like if it was just the three of us, I would make fun of you for being in the Navy. But if anybody else talks shit on you for being in the Navy, like we'd have an issue. You know, you just kind of have that camaraderie between everybody who's in the service. So super cool.
Just remember,
SoCal, I'm the same way, dude. Like you get that hyper sense of focus, and it's like, all right, like do what you need to do, and then afterwards you can be as nervous or as like hyped up as you want. You know what I mean? But until you release that arrow, it's like get to work time. You know what I mean? Rat, we don't do politics on this channel at all. We do hunting. So, Winter, we were both in the Army.
you'll be happy I shaved tonight.
Did you finally shave? Oh, God.
Hey, it worked because I was barely in the office today. So
I mean, yeah, we were out driving trucks all day, so, you know.
all I've been like,
Chris, what's happening? How are you doing on this fine Thursday evening? Happy Halloween to everybody. Dude, I should shoot the jack-o'-lantern.
you want me to put it on top?
Should we do it?
I mean,
Should we
Halloween's
shoot?
over.
Do people want us to shoot the jack-o'-lantern? Like, I'll do it. It's not like it's doing me any good. Halloween is over.
Can I take the candle out of these?
No,
All right.
absolutely not.
So we're gonna play a game here.
Okay, what's the game?
You gotta hit where you carved. You gotta hit the eyes, the nose, and you gotta hit where you carved.
All right, I'm going to aim for the candle flame.
I feel like that's a good game. Good practice. You agree?
I've got like a 1-inch area I have to hit.
You go-
Vertically.
you
I got a
go
little
on and
I got a little wiggle room left to right. Tyler, we've shot the car on the live already. People donated $300 and we absolutely shot the car. Winter Melon, I'm not going to laugh at you because of guided hunts. A lot of time those guided hunts happen to be on high fence areas where they have a deer population that can't move, or they tend to be out west. I don't really know where you're from. I would say just go for it, dude. Like do whatever makes you happy, you know. But right now, I need to shoot this jack-o'-lantern, and I'm gonna try and hit the candle. We'll see. And I just hit the candle. I just hit the candle on the jack-o'-lantern and put it out. That happened. You saw it. It happened live. Everybody just saw that. Don't touch anything. Wait. Everybody wait. We're going to zoom in. Before anybody touches anything, we're going to zoom in because that just happened. What you guys are seeing are my lighted knock in there. Look at that. That's my lighted knock.
I think you broke the candle though.
But I just perfectly put the candle out. Like, Tim, I couldn't do that again if I tried.
Oh yeah, she broke.
I don't know about amazing, but like that just happened.
All right.
And I got to get this this thing.
I'm gonna try to
Perfect.
get in the nose.
Do it. Do you want a tab or a glove?
Nah.
I mean, it's only a 20-pound bow, but sometimes it just releases a little better.
That's what she said.
The thing about shooting trad bows that people don't realize, the amount of concentration that you put into it, and you're right there too.
Yeah, not where I wanted to be though.
You're in the mouth though. Like that's 2 shots right in the mouth. Keep your dirty minds out of this. Double or nothing, I wish.
Do you have another candle?
Do I have another candle?
Wait,
Yeah.
you have a lighter? We can relight
That's the
that
question. We could relight that one.
one. I mean, you only broke the candle. The wick's still good.
That's a Pontiac G8 GT. You guys saw it live because that'll never happen again. But that's the other part that people don't realize about the trad bows. Like, I know everybody's heard aim small, miss small, or aim for the rabbit's eye and you'll hit the rabbit's head. But yeah, that's the game we play. You know, you aim for the wick of a candle and you hit it. Like, it's crazy.
Buddy, I don't really want to get it out.
You're probably just better off pulling the pumpkin out of the arrows.
Well, it was either that or push them back through the front.
Yeah, you're probably gonna mess up the fletchings on them, but go ahead, do what you got to do.
I mean, really. I'll see if I can pull this one out.
Catfish, Godspeed on that, dude. The GTRs are awesome. I probably can't afford one, but it is what it is. User EH8, that was 60 years ago. I must have missed your first comment here, I would think.
Do you have a lighter? Do you have leader, cola?
Heck yeah, dude. The recurves are generally practiced. Traditional archery in general is practiced more so by the older folk in the hunting community who have been doing it for a long time. However, I will say we are seeing a resurgence of it, and I hope that I am driving some of that. I know 5 to 10 people who have gotten into traditional archery because of me. And hopefully we can grow that even more. It's an awesome sport when you get into recurves and longbows. Modern compounds are they're such forgiving instruments that it's just different. Like, and I'm not hating on it. I don't hate on crossbows. I don't hate on whatever people use to ethically harvest an animal, you know? But if you can pick up a recurve or a longbow and you can go out, you practice every day with it, and then you can go and hunt with it, dude, you're a legend. Like, it's crazy. You are the 2% of hunters. Gary, this is my garage, and I think we're actually looking at knocking down this wall. You guys really can't see it, but the exterior wall on the north side of my garage, and we're going to incorporate the carport into that. So we'll enclose the carport, and then I'll have a 3-car garage, and I'll be able to shoot 20 plus yards in my garage. It'll be pretty cool. Alaska, absolutely, dude. Absolutely. Like I said previously multiple times, I didn't know what back tension was until I really started getting into traditional archery, and I realized how important back tension was. And then I took that back over to my compound shooting, and I shot significantly better. Winter melon, dude, that's awesome, you know? And like I'm going to circle back here. Whatever you can ethically harvest an animal with is the big point here, you know? We all make bad shots. We're human. We have error. It is what it is, but we do our best. If you're at like a 95% certainty that you can harvest that animal, you know, and not cause it a significantly like long drawn out death, I say go for it. Manguier, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what your name was. What do gay horses eat? Hey. I'm sorry, that was uncalled for. Just because you said it, so. Where are you in the garage shooting? So I'm back over in the corner right now. Right now it's just like a 2-door garage. Like I said, we're gonna knock this wall down and add on to it though. So I'll get 20 yards out of this garage.
Ooh, I like that question.
Winter melon, absolutely, dude. Practice, practice, practice. Because as soon as an animal walks in front of you and you're going to try and take its life, it's another game. Huh? Ooh, broadheads.
I like that.
I missed that question. I'm sorry. Who asked that? Quentin, I apologize. I missed that question. Broadheads. On my compound, I always shoot mechanical broadheads. I shoot either the NAP Spitfires or I shoot the Mega Meats. Who makes the Mega Meats? The G5? I think it's G5 Mega
I
Meats.
think so. Mega meats and dead meats are made by both G5, I think.
Yeah, the G5 Mega Meats or dead meats. It doesn't really matter.
I like the dead meats. They leave a nice blood trail.
Absolutely,
I
dude.
prefer
They
them
tear it
over
up.
Schwacker.
Yeah, I wouldn't run Schwackers. I would say if you're going to run a compound, I run a 580 grain arrow out of my compound. I know for a fact that a 500 plus grain arrow will blow through the shoulder of a mature buck. I've seen it multiple times with different friends. So if you're running a compound, I don't think fixed blade or mechanical matters. Mechanicals, you have a 2-inch cutting diameter versus a fixed blade, which you're going to have an inch to an inch and a half. I personally prefer the heavier cutting or the bigger cutting diameter. You know, is what it is. Frank, we don't do politics here, dude. Blood Oath, you want to see the G8? Dun dun dun. There she is. She's just chilling.
What is endocrine rituals?
What is going on with these arrows you brought back? That's the better question. Frank, what's up? What are you doing? I will say though, out of my tradpo, I only shoot fixed blades. I will not shoot a mechanical out of the tradpo. The reason being, these arrows don't necessarily have the momentum to deploy a mechanical broadhead, so I don't mess around with that. I am shooting 650 grain arrows out of my trad bow for my hunting setup. I'm shooting 650 grain arrows. How come you didn't shoot guns? Frank, I do shoot guns. I just have not harvested a deer with guns. Yeah, Quentin, if you're running the same string from 2011, you probably need a new one. That's way longer than I'd ever shoot a string with out of a compound. But the Mission Crazes were great bows. I haven't personally shot one, but I know several other people who have. They're good bows. Another one of those bows that's really adjustable, I believe. You love the word harvested. Yeah, I tried to use that word instead of slaughtered, you know. But it is what it is. Frank, can I send you a bow? I can't really just send you a bow, dude. Like I don't really make much of any money off of YouTube. We kind of just do it because we have a community of people who believe in us, and we like the support, but we also like having that community and forming that community. That being said, I think we might raffle off some bows, some recurve bows, but we'll see. As far as like legality of that goes, we need to set up an LLC to protect ourselves, and we need to put out certain rules. Like there's a whole thing that needs to happen before we can start raffling off this equipment. Because if you go out and you shoot poor Timmy here with the bow, like then I get in trouble, you know. That was a little high.
You didn't see the pumpkin, did you?
Did you want me to shoot the pumpkin?
Oh,
The crappy kid. I appreciate you stopping in. Thank you. But as far as raffles goes, guys, we are going to start raffling off some of our merch, like T-shirts, hoodies, that kind of stuff. Maybe some koozies, like some beer koozies. Lord knows, we could probably use some of our own. You know, we drink enough beer on this channel, so.
No, we just mix up our
We just need Miller Lite to sponsor us. If anybody out there is a representative from Miller Lite, why don't you sponsor us? We drink plenty of your beer on this channel.
just need to stop mixing up our beers with each other.
How do we mix up beer? Mine's been here the whole time.
No, we only have like 5 people here.
Oh, yeah, that is true. When we get a lot of people here, people start drinking other people's beers. It gets weird real quick. Could I shoot a gun like the 308? No, I'm in a residential neighborhood. I'm absolutely not going to shoot off a 308. It would be funny. It would be a good time, but I'm not going to do it. That heater, yeah, dude, we fire her up quite a bit. If it weren't 80 degrees outside today, I'd have her going right now. And just for everybody on the live right now, this piece of wood, as well as that piece of wood, are going to be bows next year that we harvest some deer with.
The wall of 308 capable.
I need to fix that. That rubber kind of came off the fletchings on the arrow. I caught it when I drew back. That wall looks 308 capable. You're an animal. I'm not going to do it. There we go. When I just really like dig into my knock point, which is right on like the corner of my nose here, when I really just dig in there, like I shoot so much better. Total Tech, yeah. I have gone strictly traditional archery this year. It has been a journey to say the least. I probably should have 8 to 10 deer in the freezer right now. There are 2 opportunities that I've had. I'm sorry, there's 3 opportunities that I've had on big Pennsylvania bucks that I wasn't able to capitalize on because I'm using a trad bow. There was 2 or 3 on bucks in Maryland that I wasn't able to capitalize on because I'm using the trad bow. Yeah, I mean, it's been a journey. It's taught me an infinite amount of patience. It has taught me back tension. It has taught me just how to be a better hunter, you know? Every time I go into the woods, I'm like, all right, like, how do I get into a tree that takes me from 30 yards to 20 yards of where I think the deer are going to be? So it's taught me a lot. I think next season I might go back to the compound. That being said, I have a $900 bow, custom bow on order. So I probably won't entirely go back to a compound. That sounded expensive. What do you shoot?
I'm going for the candle. One right beside it.
It sounded like you missed entirely, buddy.
No, I did not.
Alaska, that's okay, dude. We can hop on whenever, and we can do a live together whenever. That was a little low, Timmy.
Hey, I'm hitting it though, right?
So we're going into a holiday weekend next week in Alaska. So maybe like Thursday or Friday, we can hop on together and do it. And if you want, I can probably talk to Tony. We could probably get both of us on a live to do it with you. Yeah, so Alaska, when you go in and you're setting up the live, you have to establish who's invited to it before you actually go live. So it makes it a little difficult. Like I know on TikTok, you can invite people while you're chatting. I don't really do the TikTok thing. Tony does a little bit. But yeah, so we got to set that up in advance. But we definitely will do that. I'll try and get Tony either over here or I'll go down to Tony and we'll do it together and we'll figure it out. Jay Sharp, what's up, dude? How are you doing? Timmy's pulling some arrows. He was trying to extinguish the candle like I did the last time I shot. I'm not going to do it again because it'll never happen again.
I bet you can do it again.
I'm not going to make that bet because I can't do it again.
You're going to do it again. Here you go. This arrow, I'm pulling it.
Alaska, if you got a cell phone, when you email us, just include your cell number in there because I'll just text you, dude. It makes it a lot easier for me.
And no, I did not miss. I just shot straight through the fucking pumpkin.
And then maybe we can even coordinate, like maybe next year you come down here and you hunt with us. Because that would be super cool. We've been trying to get some people involved in the channel a little bit, like take them out hunting. Not that we would have to take you out hunting. I think if you're killing moose and caribou, you know what you're doing, and you could probably handle a whitetail. But just trying to build that camaraderie, build that community. You know.
I'm not Jimmy.
$5, Jimmy gets it next. You send the $5, and I swear I'll shoot Tim like it's nobody's business.
Tim, not Jim. Thank you.
No, his name's Jimmy now.
No, Alberto, no.
But here's the deal, Alaska. Like I get to come up there and maybe smoke a moose, and definitely do some salmon fishing. All right, we're shooting the candle right here.
Yep.
Alaska, that'd be awesome. Again, that just happened. That's 2 in a row. I'm done. Like I don't think I can shoot anymore. That's 2 times in a row I've extinguished a candle at 13 yards. And the thing didn't even light up this time. So you guys can see that just happened live. She's out. Who wants to see 3? No, we're not even doing a third. That just happened. It's never gonna happen again. And we're just gonna let it go. That was the thing. That was pretty cool, wasn't it, Timmy?
I told you were gonna do it again. You didn't believe me.
I should just believe you more.
I never point you in the wrong direction.
You really don't, you know? You really don't. Ooh. Ooh, halibut. Some like 90-pound or 100-pound halibut. Oh, man. Timmy, I'm going to smoke a deer tomorrow. You know what I was drinking with tonight? I was drinking with Levi at Arrowheads at the bar.
Yeah.
Yep, sure was. I think him and I are going to hunt together tomorrow, too.
Tribe sent me another picture of a new buck that's up on the mountain.
I believe it. You're probably going to get a bunch here real soon.
Can we talk about that rub, though?
So we can't talk about that rub. I don't think that rub was necessarily caused by a big buck. From my experience in the woods, when you have a rub that's on a relatively thick tree, it does not indicate the quality of buck at all whatsoever. And I think a lot of times these bigger bucks prefer really small saplings because they can get in between their tines really well.
I still think that's relatively new. Like it had to be in like the last 2 days.
Well, you said the last time you were out there was Monday.
Monday.
You know, the leaves are falling at a pretty substantial rate.
There wasn't a whole lot of leaves on top of that though.
There was 3, if I remember correctly, from the picture. But you're also talking right down around the base of a tree. Quentin, thank you. I appreciate you. That pays for this beer. Thank you so much. Seriously. Yeah, Timmy's got to shoot again. Why don't you go break an arrow or something? But yeah, anybody who sends super chats or whatever, we seriously appreciate you guys. It helps with the channel. We do these lives, and I don't think people realize that like we got to pay for the targets, we got to pay for lighted knocks. We clearly have to pay for beer because that's a huge priority here on this channel. And it gets expensive real quick. But we appreciate everybody who donates to the channel. You guys are awesome. Quentin, I appreciate it, dude.
All right, I got 3 shots. If I can knock it out in 3
Alaska, I'm looking forward to checking it out after this live stream. Jay Sharp, Alaska does have a channel. Subscribe and like his content. Dude, I am weird as heck. Look at the mustache. Look at my receding hairline. I got a bald spot. I'm not even 30 years old yet. I can't help you. We're weird here. And I shoot a recurve because, you know, technology is is just not okay in my books, I guess. Justin, we are shooting the bow. Here, Timmy, put an apple on your head. I'll shoot it right off you.
Well, I didn't catch my hair on fire. That's close.
There's no arrow in there, just so everybody knows. I don't want to mess with anybody, or I don't want anybody to accuse us of being unsafe. So Tim, I heard you were actually going to let me shoot an arrow off your head, though. Like, we're going to do a long form video where I shoot it off your head, right?
I told you can shoot an apple off my head.
I mean, if I can extinguish that flame at 13 yards
you can't
twice in a row.
You have to hit me between the eyes.
Oh, okay. I could do
I
that.
told you I don't want to go to work again. All right, let's see if I can be.
Yo, Mama, I'm sorry to hear that. I feel for you. I don't know. Like, I don't even know what to say to that. I'm sorry. You know, I'm sorry. Going through a death in the family.
All right. See if I'm as good as you.
Are you as good as me? We're gonna find out. Well, you hit the candle. You were low.
It went out.
I'll count it. I'll give that to you. You absolutely hit the base of the candle and moved it enough to put it out.
I don't think there was much of a base there anymore.
Yo, Mama, like I said, I'm sorry to hear that, dude. We feel for you. Unfortunately, death is a natural part of life. It doesn't make it better. It just is what it is. Chick, I'm just going to assume it's some person who is not trolling us and is just actually having a realistic life talk with us. We get that a lot, so yeah, I feel for you if you're going through it. I apologize. It's not fair, but it's part of life, so. All you can do is be thankful for the number of days you're given, and that was a bad mess up, wasn't it?
It was very bad.
Whoops.
We all know what you said.
Should I shoot the jack-o'-lantern right in the nose? Ooh, that was through the eye. That was perfectly through the right eye. No, I don't think you're psychotic. By any means whatsoever. You know, we all have our own way of rationalizing traumatic events. And yeah, I mean, it just is what it is. Like I said, I'm sorry you had to go through that, dude.
Your aim isn't very accurate.
Dude, I aimed for the, look at where that's at. I aimed for the nose and I missed by an inch. You can see it lit up in there. Before I shoot again, we're gonna zoom in on that. I mean, like, I aimed for the nose and I missed and hit the eye, right? Like, you can see where it's lit up in the right eye. The nose, oh boy, the nose is right there and I hit there. Like, it's off by an inch. Yo, Mama, you're not bombing our live stream, dude. We're happy to have you here. And like I said, we do this real talk all the time. We have a lot of people who come on here and we just talk about it. Like, it's part of life, you know? The only thing we really don't do here is politics, and we don't hate on anybody. That's all we don't do here. Don't move, Timmy. Stay there.
No, you gotta wait.
Okay, I'll wait.
I hate your hanger.
What are you doing? Am I from Texas? No, we are in Pennsylvania.
I'm getting you a subscriber, don't worry.
Yeah, like Alaska said, this is a tight community. I know the regulars who come on. Most of the regulars that come on are mods. But for everybody else here, the regulars that come on, like, we all know each other. It's weird to say because it's an online community. But I feel like we all know each other, and it's pretty awesome. You're in Tyrone, Pennsylvania? That's awesome, dude. We're just north of Harrisburg here.
Hey, tell me when That's good.
Howdy from Texas.
How high do you want that?
For what?
You read the one comment. You gotta pass through the hanger.
I can't because it's not even in the same direction. You got to pull it like 2 feet to the left.
I'll figure out a way to rig it.
A pass through on the hanger into the pumpkin.
You up or down?
No, it's got to go left a little bit more. Hang on. No, the height's perfect. Don't change the height.
All right. Well, I'm gonna clamp it then.
It's gonna be close. Like I'm not gonna be in the best spot for it. Pass through on the hanger into the pumpkin. We got this.
If he does,
I'm just gonna have to move.
Click subscribe. So.
Maybe I have to go down a little bit. I'm sorry. I know I said that, but
I think it needs to be.
yeah, we gotta go down a little bit. Maxie, we're gonna shoot through the hanger into the pumpkin. I think somebody else said it. I guess I must have missed it in the chat, and now we're doing it. So you're from York, Pennsylvania, Connor. That's awesome. We're not far from you. We drive down 83 to go hunt in Maryland all the time. The problem is we can't, yeah, from right there we can shoot it, but I gotta be, yeah, from right here I absolutely can, but that's not the same, I feel like.
Well, move the table.
Ooh, we hit the hanger. Oh, are you okay?
Yeah.
Did that hit you?
No, your notches came out.
Whoops.
All right.
I was a little too close. That got silly.
We're gonna see if
Well, you go do your thing.
I mean, you already hit it with this arrow, so.
Yeah, Scranton isn't too far. It's about an hour north of us. Yeah, that was something. I don't know if fun is the word I'd use to describe it, but it was something.
I think I got this.
So it definitely impacted a little bit above where I was aiming. Just a heads up, I aimed for the nose. There you go. I mean, you did better than me. You didn't hit the metal. So
I think I'm shorter, so it helped.
yeah, guys, we don't do politics here. We talk hunting. We talk life stuff. We talk a lot of stuff. We don't do any politics, and we don't do anything that hates on any group of people. Yes, that is a Pontiac G8 GT in the back. Do you want to go pull those? And can we move the gambrel back over so it's not in the way?
Yeah.
All right.
He went to the bathroom. That's far enough out of the way, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, the G8's okay. She has a failed lifter, so it'd be better if she didn't, you know. So I gotta pull the motor. I want to do the lifters, DOD delete, a new cam, and then a converter. So got a lot going on. Yeah, Quentin, I have to agree with your analysis there, dude. Going to Yo Mama. But that's okay. You know, we all get emotionally drained after a certain point, and if you hit your limit, then you hit your limit, you know?
I can't believe I made that pass through. I'm
You did
proud of
better than
myself.
I did. Heck, man. You did way better than I did. I forgot to put another bag in the beer can. Oh yeah, absolutely. The LS motor is super easy to work on. It's just a matter, for me, it's a matter of finding the time to do it now that it's hunting season, and having everything going on. For those who don't follow the channel and don't really keep tabs on my life, I have a 1.5-year-old, so keeping up with her, keeping up with the wife, doing all that stuff, like trying to be a good dad while still trying to manage a hunting channel is difficult. So Tyler, we're doing all right, dude. Tony just killed his second Pope and Young buck of the year. For anybody who's not tracking that, I shot a very big buck in the shoulder with the recurve, which crushed my soul. So that's going well. But I'm hoping getting into the rut here, I can maybe take some big deer. So we'll see. Yeah, the warm weather here really killed the deer movement. So, yo, mama, let's not do a challenge to shoot the car. The last time we did this, we had $300 in the chat, and we shot the tire on the car. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't want to do it again. So, yeah, the arrow completely ricocheted and came right back at me. Luckily, I had moved my smoker and put it in between me and the car, just in case a ricochet happened. So, Nick, if we had any cold weather, I would send it down to you, brother. But we apparently don't, because it's 80 degrees in Pennsylvania right now. So it is going to drop coming here on Saturday and Sunday. It's going to drop real quick. Yeah, Leon, if you're familiar with how YouTube works, they take a lot of that. We don't pick up much of it. So yeah, you're pretty spot on, dude. That was pretty dead center. Why are the fletchings on that wet? Is that from the pumpkin?
Yeah.
Oh. I was like, why did my arm just get wet after I shot? Leon. So yeah, the tires, like, I don't know, the tires on that, I'm running like the Achilles 2. So they're like $75 a tire. Not too bad. What's your backstop? So for the backstop, I actually have a old, what the heck do they call those? Yeah, an old box spring for a queen size mattress. And what I did was I took pallet wrap and I shoved that down in there, and it works pretty well. Quentin, you are most certainly a bad influence. Yo, mama, I appreciate it. You have a good night, and hopefully the days ahead of you aren't too rough, brother. I just want to split arrows. Like, I don't, like, every time. I just want to be able to split arrows every time I shoot. But I just don't know if it's ever going to happen. Nick, that's a great question. Luckily for you, I have my hunting bow right here, which is a Samick Sage. I have switched to the Zwickey 2-blade with bleeders. And I shot a doe on Monday with these, and the blood trail without an exit wound was phenomenal. I mean, it's better than what I've gotten with some shots out of the compound. So I would highly recommend. Nick, for the trad bow, I absolutely am a fixed blade guy, and I'm strictly hunting with traditional archery equipment this year. Out of the compound, I never run fixed blade broadheads. I always run mechanicals with a heavy arrow. I think I'm running 580 grain arrows out of my compound. Pikachu. That's an easy one, dude. It turns me on when he zaps me. Did I just say that in front of 300 people?
Oh, God.
Reminds me of when Uncle Jerry used to grab the car battery. Oh, goodness. We get silly on the lives, in case people haven't noticed. That smashed the can. I smashed the can on that one, dude. Demolished. Demolished. But yeah, like I said, I'm just running I'm running an old box spring that I shoved pallet wrap into, and it works phenomenally as a backstop. Jaden, how are you doing? Quentin, I know I can hit a squirrel, but that's only because I've shot 3 of them now with the trad bow.
That's weird.
Jay Sharp, I think Alaska tuned off. He was on for a little, then he got off, and I think he got off again. I think he said he was getting off. But I think we're going to do a live with him sometime in the next week here, so stay tuned. Right through his bumper. Nah, dude, I'm not putting it through the bumper. You calm down. You calm down. What do you think, Timmy? Is that enough for tonight, dude?
I'm confused by the whole touch me.
I want to shoot the stem. Let's shoot the stem on the jack-o'-lantern. I don't know if it's impressive shooting. I've gotten pretty proficient with it after 5,000 to 10,000 rounds in the last 6 months. I'm nowhere near the point of like being able to throw a Cheerio and put it through the hole in the Cheerio, like some people are. But obviously good enough to kill a deer with it. So I appreciate the compliment. Ooh, I missed.
Leon had the best comment and idea.
I was so close.
All night.
What did he say? What did Leon say? No, dude, we're not throwing darts. Stop. Come on.
With the bow.
I don't get it.
Get a big dog.
Oh, Leon. Oh. Oh, Timmy, a dartboard? Archery darts? Does that even make sense?
You might be able to beat me in darts for once.
I would most certainly be able to, first off. I never beat Timmy at darts. Quentin, you're not wrong. I'm not saying I'm bad. I'm just not, I'm not a good archer by any means. I'm just not. My claim to fame is the fact that, I don't get nervous when the time comes to shoot a big buck or shoot a doe or to shoot animals in general. I don't feel anything. I just do it. And then afterwards, I'm like, oh, that was cool. I was like an inch to the left, then I was like an inch below. Well, I appreciate it, guys. Like I said, we do this really often. I try my best, but as far as target archery goes, like I'm by no means a good target archer. So, but on that note, guys, I got to get up at like 5 o'clock in the morning. It's been a late night. I appreciate all of the comments on the channel. This has been an awesome night.
Can you see my hearts?
If you want to see more of the content, subscribe to the channel. We do this really often. We're trying to get back into it. We were doing it like every night, and we're trying to get back there. But during hunting season, it's hard to get there because we're both out just getting after it. You know, I shot a doe on Monday. Tony shot a doe yesterday, so we're killing some deer. We're living the dream. So, alrighty, guys. I'll see you next time. Thank you again for all the comments. Thank you for everybody who donated. You guys are the best. And we'll catch you next time.